Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, Northgarden Comics. Today we are going to open this 5-pound mystery box that I just got from Mile High Comics. Check it out. Alright, I am very excited to share this mystery box with you today for a couple of reasons. One, I've never purchased a mystery box before, so this is a brand new experience for me. Second, I bought this from Mile High Comics, which is a company name that I have known from the earliest days of my comic book collecting, but I've never ordered anything from them in all these years. And, you know, I pulled out an old comic to show you. When people say Mile High Comics, this is what I think of, and that's what I remember when we say Mile High Comics, is seeing those print ads in comics as a kid. And I remember reading through, and you get to an ad like this, and I remember making wish lists off of these and looking through for my favorite titles and seeing how much those low numbered issues would cost me if I bought them. And of course, as a kid, that was way out of my price range. But looking back now, 30 plus years later, I wish that I would have been able to get some of those things for those kind of prices, because they're obviously way higher now. And one of my dreams, you know, if I had a time machine, I would go back and get all those key issues in really pristine new condition and, you know, get multiples of them and have a fantastic collection of really key comics and full runs of my favorite titles. But I don't have a time machine, but I did get a mystery box, and they call this a 5-pound mystery box. Mile High Comics has several different kinds that you can order. This is a Marvel mystery box, which means all the titles in here are Marvel, but you can also do a DC one. They have one that's focused just on independent books. They have one that's focused on Free Comic Book Day issues, and then of course you can get just a basic mystery box, which has a smattering of everything. And I will say, just because it's a real credit to Mile High Comics and the founder Chuck Rosansky, that when you purchase one of their Free Comic Book Day mystery boxes, I don't remember if it's a portion or all of the profits from those actually go to a local charity to help feed hungry families in the Denver area. So a lot of great social community involvement going on from Mile High Comics. And some of that is partly how I discovered these mystery boxes. You know, in our current environment, I'm sure there's a lot more mystery boxes being purchased to begin with collectors like myself and readers trying to find and obtain comics any way that you can. But he had posted in social media all these mystery boxes that he was doing, and for a short period of time there was a special code that you could use and actually get free shipping. And that was the thing that clinched it for me, because this box was $39.95 and you get 5 pounds of comics, which they say is between 35 and 40 comics, so about $1 a piece. And then you add shipping on top of it, and of course, you know, you're not going to get any significant key books in here, so shipping really makes it much more spendy. But with the waiving of the shipping, I couldn't resist, and so I ordered a mystery box. And wanted to show you one other thing. I don't know how this will come through, but if you can see that picture there, maybe not, but that's from the Mile High Comics Facebook page. He was posting all along as he was packing up these mystery boxes, and that picture there was from the table of Marvel mystery boxes that he was packing. So these books right here could have come off of that table. And there is one special thing he said he was putting in a lot of these because he had a bunch of extras, and so some of the boxes might actually be more than 5 pounds. And so I was eager when I got mine to see how much mine weighed, and I did weigh it, and it's about 7.5 pounds. So I might have one of those bonus items that he referred to that he was sticking in there as a bonus. So that being said, let's dive in here and get this box opened. We'll take this kind of one layer at a time. It did come in an envelope, like a FedEx style envelope, and now it's got a pretty well packed cardboard box on here. And I'm thinking there's still another box inside this box, if I can figure out. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, this is the box. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is, I don't know if you can see, it's all kind of one big piece. And it is shrink wrapped, like that. Got invoice on top, and okay, just a little note. So there's the Mile High Comics logo, and just a little disclaimer. What does he say? Oh, attention parents. I am a parent, so I'm the one to read this. Please note that we are not screening the content of our packs for mature themes. We suggest that you screen them before sharing with your children. If you need comics specifically for younger readers, we have a Comics Code approved package available. So that's another kind of mystery box they have. So don't need to worry about that. And now we can cut into this shrink wrapping. And I see the special item already, so I'm going to try to keep that spoiler free and show you that last. So let me slide this out here if I can. Okay. So the first thing that I'll show you, they say in each of these mystery boxes they will include a special Mile High Comics variant cover, and so that's the book that they put on top here. We've got Bloodshot Salvation #1 Mile High variant there. I've never owned a Bloodshot comic book of any sort, so this is a first. Cool to have that special variant cover. Let me grab this here. Maybe we'll start a little stack here like that so you can see what we've seen. Next up, and some of these appear to be bagged and some are not bagged. World War Hulk Frontline. I read the World War Hulk main story, but I didn't read any of these tie-in miniseries. So this is number 5 of 6. Oh, this looks 90s extreme. What is it? Nikki Doyle Wild Thing. You got Venom and Carnage on the cover there. I am not familiar with her at all, so we'll see what this is like in all its 90s extreme goodness here. Got a kind of an extra thick cover on it too. Alright, Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix #1 of 4 miniseries. This tells the story, I believe, of Cyclops and Jean Grey, I think, wind up going to the future and I think hide their identities, but they wind up raising their son Cable in the alternate timeline where he grew up, or this is when they take him to the alternate timeline or the future, but something to do with that. That's cool. Alright, we've got Secret Avengers #1. This is the second volume, I think, of Secret Avengers. I have not read this, so that's cool to have. Next up, we've got an Alpha Flight #3, I believe also from the second volume of Alpha Flight. I don't own any of these, but I do have a chunk of the first volume. Here's another bit of 90s nostalgia, Silver Sable #1. You got that nice metallic raised cover there. I do have a copy of that, so that's the second copy there. All right. Icons 2 of 4, The Thing. You know, I actually think I saw this within the last couple of months on somebody else's video. Don't know how many issues. Oh, 4, duh. The 2 of 4, I've never read it. That's the first issue I have of that. Alright, from the Marvel Knights era, this is a #2 from a series called Strange. I have never heard of this. And I will say that, you know, for a lot of, I'm seeing these books as you do. So if there's anything interesting or significant that you want to point out, let me know in the comments down below. Got an Uncanny X-Men #186. Yep, 186. I've got that, so that's a second copy of that, but it seems to be in pretty good shape. This is a cool one. Ultimates #1 from the first volume, part of the Ultimate Universe. This is a series I've been wanting to collect. I think this volume ran for 13 issues, and I don't have any of them yet, so this is a good place to start, right at #1. Staying with the Ultimate Universe, we've got an Ultimate Spider-Man #65. I only have a handful of these issues, but much closer to the end of the run right before, or when Peter Parker died. I have that storyline. This one's a little wavy, not in a bag. This is Spectacular Spider-Man, was it 188? I have very few copies of any Spectacular Spider-Man. This issue is the one that I've had since I was a kid, so I've got a duplicate now. And maybe there's a reason. There seems to be a lot of those floating around in the world. All right. Another Uncanny X-Men 220. Another duplicate for me. Going to the new universe, we've got Star Brand #1. And I will say that I'm not expecting anything magical in this, of course. This is advertised as basically reader copies of bunches of extra things that he has. They're all in, decent shape, but you're not expecting to get any keys in here. Again, this is kind of a reader box. I've never heard of this one before. Call of Duty. Doesn't seem to be the video game. More a police story. This is number 5 of 5. Haven't heard of that one. Another tie-in. This is part of the Avengers vs. X-Men tie-in. This was a 6-part miniseries. I don't have any of these, but Jim Chung, I like his art, so that'll be cool to read. And I think these are standalone issues, so you don't need the others. It's just, this one's Scarlet Witch versus Hope, and I'm not sure what's going on down here, but that'll be fun to read that one. Another Uncanny X-Men, number 281. Oops. Not familiar with this. This is Avengers Thunderbolts. I have not seen that miniseries before. Let's take these out. Whoa. Continuing on, back to the Ultimate Universe. Ultimate X-Men #1. This is a volume, 100 issues long. I am piecing this together. I have, I think, the first 45 issues now, so this is a duplicate, but still very cool. All right, we've got Extreme X-Men 36. I don't own any of these. I think this was like 1 or 2 different volumes they've done under the Extreme X-Men title, but that's just an issue there to check that out. Going to X-Man. So, pulled from the Age of Apocalypse. It ran for 4 issues during the Age of Apocalypse story, and then continued on with his own ongoing, I forget ultimately how many issues, but obviously more than 30. Next up, Amazing Fantasy #4. I don't have any of that volume, so check out that story. Lots of Ultimate Universe titles in here. So part of the Ultimate 6 mini-series, number 3 of 6 or 7, I think this ran for. Here's a Black Panther #29. Not sure which volume that is. I don't really have any Black Panther comics. Looks to be that I got 2 of the same comic. I got a duplicate. From Marvel Age, number 118. They're both still in the bag, so I guess I could tear open one and read it and still have one preserved in the bag. And they both come packed with a, from the Marvel Masterpieces 1992 trading card series. You got a Hulk card in there, in both of those. All right, another Uncanny X-Men number 316. Got that reflective cover there. Duplicate for me. Warlock and the Infinity Watch. I think I have a couple issues earlier in this volume, but definitely not number 11. Ultimate Universe again. Ultimate War 1 of 4. I had collected this actually because I like Chris Bachalo's art, and yeah, this is a really cool example. He's got a unique style. All right, another limited series, Avengers 1959, number 2 of 5. I have not read that, and depending on how that is, maybe I'll have to piece the rest of that together. All right, from the Siege Aftermath event series, we got Avengers Prime #1. This is 90s. This has got to be 90s. Oh yeah, 93. Night Thrasher for Control. Number 4. Going back, Mark Silvestri cover, Wolverine, number 46. And then number 6 in a Spider-Man series, Spider-Man Chapter 1. I don't have any of these. I'll check that out. Oops. Got an Incredible Hulk, 394. Introducing Trauma. And then, kind of an anime-looking, manga-looking cover here, Starjammers number 2. I don't have any of those either, so that's new. And then there were 2 other special items. Well, one other special item that you could count on, besides that Mile High Comics variant cover that they promised. They also promised a trade paperback, and included in this mystery box was Ultimate Avengers trade paperback. You know, trade paperbacks, I generally don't collect trade paperbacks. I am very committed to getting the single issues just because I love the thrill of the hunt. But a trade paperback can be a great way to try out a new series that you haven't read before to see if that's something you want to continue to collect. So Ultimate Universe again, this will be cool. Lionel Francis Yu art, and yeah, who does the? This will be cool. So glad to have that. And then the final item that I'll show you is the extra item that he put in there. Again, he was saying that for some of these boxes he had some overflow inventory of one particular item, and that he might make the boxes heavier than what they normally were at no extra cost. And he did include in this box a hardcover. This is Stephen King's The Dark Tower, Gunslinger, The Gunslinger Born. I don't know anything about this series, never read these. All I know is there were trailers for that movie. I don't know that it did very well or if it even ever came out. I lost track of it after I saw the trailer, but looking forward to reading this. The Jay Lee art looks very cool, so happy to get that as an extra little bonus in this mystery box. Okay, that's going to conclude this 5-pound mystery box from Mile High Comics. I will say kind of my initial thoughts on this. Very happy with the Dark Tower hardcover, the Ultimate Avengers trade paperback, and the Mile High variant cover of Bloodshot Salvation. Those 3 items alone more than cover the price of the mystery box, so that's nice to know that you recover your money that way. The 35 or so other comic books in here. Also some really cool things, some 90s nostalgia. There were a handful of duplicate things that I already have in my collection, so for that reason, if I were going to do another one, I would probably go with a different kind of mystery box, either DC or the Independents or even just a generic mixed box. And so that way it would introduce me to far more ongoing limited series, things like that, that I could perhaps then build out and add to my collection instead of getting duplicates like I did. But that being said, super happy with this. I enjoyed being able to go through it to see what I got. I hope there was something in here that you enjoyed seeing as well. If you have questions or comments, let me know down below in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.